Hello and welcome. This video is going to show you the application you need to complete activity 4-1. Now before you start this activity, I highly encourage you to view the video that reviews the first half of the chapter. There's two videos reviewing chapter 4. I highly recommend you view the first one before you even start this activity. It's about 15 minutes. I think that's going to be 15 minutes well spent. It'll save you time in the long run if you view that and understand the material in there before you even start this. In this activity, you'll be doing the first few questions from activity 4.1 based on the information in that video, and then we're going to illustrate the information in that video using an application. And you'll find that application at this website right here. If you click on that, it'll actually open up. And it'll bring you to this page. First thing you want to do is click on this begin. And then this page will come up. Now I want to give you a little tour of what you see here. The top graph you have right here is a distribution of the population. They call it the parent population. That's just another word or another phrase for the population that we're going to be sampling from. The next thing I want to show you is the statistics, or these are the parameters over here on this side. So you can see the mean of this population is 16, the median is 16 because it's perfectly symmetrical, so they're the same. This SD is the population standard deviation, so that's really sigma in our notation for the class. And this is not skewed at all. Again, it's perfectly symmetrical. You can see that here. Now, the next thing I want to show you is these other graphs down here. What we're going to do is down here in this graph, we're going to build a distribution of sample means, or the applet's going to do it for us. And we can choose the sample size that we're going to use. As you know from the video, you take a particular sample size, you choose that first, and then you take a sample from it, and then you take those 5, or take whatever number of people. In here, we're going to set the sample size to different numbers, but we're going to start with 5. And then if we do animate, it's going to take 5 people at random, and then it's going to plot their mean. Now, let's say we're going to do it again. It throws those 5 people back in, and then it does it again, and then it plots their mean. So we're building a distribution of sample means, one sample at a time. Okay. Now, obviously, as you know, to build a distribution of sample means, it's going to take a lot of these, all possible ones. Now, why this one doesn't really take all possible ones, what it does do is it allows you to take a lot of samples at one time. So rather than clicking the animate one at a time thing, and it just keeps adding, I'm going to click on this button here. I can click on do 5 samples at a time, but I'm going to click 10,000 at a time. So it just took 10,000 samples and put it right there. And you could click it again and again and again if you'd like. And you're going to get a lot of samples. So here is your distribution of sample means. Here is your parent population up there. Over here, you can see the mean of the distribution of sample means and the standard deviation of the distribution of sample means. That's really enough to get you started on this activity. Basically, the activity is going to tell you to work with sample size by changing this around, and it will show you what happens to the distribution of sample means as you manipulate sample size. It will also have you manipulate the shape of the parent population. If you click and then drag with your mouse over this distribution, you can make this distribution any kind of funky shape, and it will ask you to do that as well. Again, that should be enough to get you started. I hope it goes well for you.